All right, so for the homework 3-3 and for the test prep, we've run into this question. I've got a lot of um, questions about it. So the engine falls out of Rhonda's old car. It's time to shop for something newer. She's hoping to keep her monthly payment at $130. The loan will be 5.6% simple interest for 48 months. This problem appears in another way, but in both cases, you're told how much money the person is willing to do for a monthly payment, the interest rate, and that it is a simple interest loan for 48 months. So, part A, if Rhonda plans to make a down payment of $1,000 and finance her car for 48 months at 5.6% interest, what's the price of the most expensive car she can afford? And it says there, let X equal the price of the car and use the formulas for fixed installment loans and simple interest formulas to set up the equation. That's what we're going to do. So first two pieces from simple interest are, I can find the interest by multiplying the principal times the rate times the time. And then the future value is A is equal to the principal plus the interest. So let's tackle a couple of things that are going on here. The first thing is Rhonda's willing to pay $130 a month. So let's figure out how much money she can deal with. So $130 a month times 48 months is equal to 130 times 48. I've done this problem with 170 in my head for some reason. Let's get that right. 130 times 48, $6,240. Okay. And then we know that she's going to make a down payment of $1,000. So what does she have to spend? She has $7,240. And if we're not careful, we'll think that we're done with the problem. But we're not, because this is all the payments. And then down payment is $1,000. Now, why can't Rhonda go get a car for $7,240? Because within those payments lives the interest, right? We can't buy a car for this much money because we're financing at 5.6% simple interest. That will take us over budget. So we need to figure out how much money we've got how much money we have. Now we have to figure out what's the price of the car, so that the price of the car plus the interest that we're told about in the problem will total up to that $7,240. So let's go after my first piece here. Let X be the price of the car, and we're going to use the relationship that the amount financed is equal to the price of the item minus the down payment. The amount financed, that's principal for us. Price of the item, we're told to let that be X. Down payment is $1,000. This is going to feel a little weird because I'm letting one variable be written in terms of another variable, but it's okay. We'll live with it. So the principal for the loan is whatever the price of the car is minus $1,000. So take this and use that simple interest equation. Interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. The principal is X minus 1,000. The rate is 5.6%. So we write that as a decimal. And the time, make these multiplies, and the time is for 48 months, which is 4 years. 0.056 times 4. I know it appears I'm doing it out of order with order of operations, but everything left to do there was multiply. So I just went ahead and multiplied the R and the T, because the next step is going to be to distribute that, right? The X minus 1,000 is inside parentheses, so I have to distribute, and I find that my interest is 0.224x minus 0.224 times 1,000 is 224. So that's part one. That's just the interest on the car. And notice that the interest is now in terms of X, which is what we wanted, right? We need to know what's the interest in terms of X, where X is the price of the car. So how much can she spend? We already did that. $6,240. So how does that help us out? Well, from the problem, we know that the total of the monthly payments is going to equal how much money I financed plus the finance charge, or the interest. I'm trying to misspell finance. Finance charge. I've already done that. Finance charge is the interest. How much did I finance? The amount financed, I got to get another color here. The amount financed, that's right there. There's the principal. So what do I know? I actually know all three of these. The total of all the monthly payments was up here at the top. The 130 a month times 48 months, total of monthly payments is $6,240. Amount financed is the principal, which is the price of the car minus $1,000. And then the interest, or the finance charge, is 0.224x minus 224. What have I done? I've taken the relationships between this and created a single equation that only has one variable, right? So now it's just solve for x because x is the price of the car. So both of these are in parentheses. Order of operations says do parentheses first. There's nothing to do inside of them. So then we just, then we go through multiplication, division from left to right. There's none of that going on. So now it's just addition and subtraction from left to right. So on the left, I still have 6240. On the right, x plus 0.224x is 1.224x. Negative 1,000, and it does say plus again, but it's plus negative 224 is going to come out to minus 1,224. I'm 1,000 in the hole, and I lose another 224, so now I'm down 1,224. Solve for x. So first thing, get everything with an x on one side, everything without on the other. The 1,224 does not have an x. 6,240 plus 1,224 is 7,464. 1.224x. And then last step, get x totally by itself. So add and subtract till everything with an x is on one side, everything without's on the other. And then get rid of any coefficients with x. I have to do that with division. And x is equal to $6,098.04. So that's the number. That is how much the car can be, so that when I add the car plus the interest, I end up with that magic number of 6,240. Now, the next part of the question, there's two parts to this one, and it says, how much does the highest price go up if she puts down $4,000 and finances for 48 months at 5.6% interest? Let's go over here to the side and let's make sure we understand what this question's asking. If you do the walkthrough in the book, it makes you do all these steps again. They're not necessary because what's changed? The $4,000 down. What has stayed the same? Everything else. I'm still doing a 48-month loan or 4-year loan. I'm still doing it at 5.6% interest, and it is still simple interest. And I want to keep the payment at $130. well, if the payment's still 130, it's still 48 months, and the interest is still 5.6. We're only putting out a principal of $6,240, right? Because that's the 130 times 48. So if that's the principal, that's how much. That's what I know I can send out. Then what have I done? I've added an extra $4,000 to it. So this was my principal, and then I have a down payment of $4,000. Right? So what has changed? One thing, just the down payment. How much did the down payment change? This is an increase of new down payment minus the old down payment. That's an increase of $3,000, right? I'm financing the exact same amount of money though. So nothing else is changing in this problem except for the down payment. So what have I done? I've increased how much I can go up on the price of the car by $3,000 because the only thing that's increased is the down payment. I'm still financing the same amount based on, let's run down here to the bottom. This, if I do all the math, I'm still going to end up with an X. The only thing that's going to change is this 1,000 right here. That 1,000 is going to go to 4,000, which is going to change some, which all it's going to do at the end of this is increase this number by $3,000. So if you want to leave the principal the same, if you want to leave the length of the loan, the interest rate, and the payment the same, then you're still going to be forking out the same amount of money over those 48 months. You've increased your down payment by $3,000. So what have you done? You've increased the cost of, you've increased the most expensive car possible by $3,000. So those are the two parts of that one. Do you have any other questions? Shoot them my way.